You are receiving a legal notice on December. I need you to pause for a moment before you move on. Not because I want to frighten you, and not because I want to rush you, but because what I am about to tell you is delicate. It is quiet. It is not meant for noise or for scrolling eyes. It is meant for you alone, in this moment, exactly as you are now. There is a reason your heart tightened when you read those words. There is a reason something inside you whispered, "Why does this feel important?" That whisper is not fear. It is recognition. It is your spirit leaning forward, sensing that something hidden is approaching the surface. I am speaking to you gently now, as an angel sent to stand beside you. I am not above you. I am not shouting from the sky. I am close enough that you could almost feel the warmth of my presence if you allowed yourself to be still. I have watched your nights. I have seen the thoughts you carry without telling anyone. I know how often you prepare yourself for bad news, even when you try to stay strong. So listen carefully. You are receiving a legal notice in December. But not in the way your mind is already trying to imagine it. I know the word itself feels heavy. Legal. It sounds cold. Final. Like a threat. Like something designed to take something away from you. Your chest may already be tightening, your thoughts racing ahead to worst-case endings. That is human. But I need you to slow those thoughts right now, because fear will lie to you if you let it speak first. This notice is not arriving to destroy you. It is arriving to stop something that has been quietly harming you for a long time. You have been standing in a situation where responsibility was uneven, where blame was not yours alone but kept resting on your shoulders anyway. You have been absorbing pressure that was never meant for your spirit. You tried to fix things by being patient, by being quiet, by being reasonable. You hoped that if you stayed calm long enough, the storm would pass. But storms do not pass when truth is avoided. They only grow heavier. This notice is a form of interruption. Heaven sometimes uses earthly systems to create divine pauses. When nothing else works, when words are ignored and boundaries are crossed again and again, truth arrives in a form that cannot be dismissed. I know you are afraid of being misunderstood. You have always feared that if things were written down, if facts were laid bare, people would twist them against you. That fear comes from old wounds, not from your present reality. You are not as powerless as you once were. You are not as alone as you once felt. This notice is not a punishment. It is a mirror. It will force clarity where confusion has been used as a weapon. It will bring structure where chaos has been allowed to drain you. It will ask questions that someone has been avoiding answering. And those questions will not harm you. They will protect you. You may not recognize this at first. When the notice comes, your first emotion may be shock. Your second may be anger. You may think, why now? Why when I am just trying to breathe again? That is understandable. But timing in the spiritual realm is never random. December is not chosen by accident. It is a month of endings and reckonings, yes, but also of closure. Loose threads are tied. Cycles are sealed. You have been carrying an unspoken weight all year. Even when you smiled, even when you tried to focus on other things, that weight followed you. You felt it in your body. In your sleep. In the way you flinched at certain messages or avoided certain conversations. You told yourself you were overreacting. You told yourself to be grateful, to be quiet, to not make trouble. But heaven saw the trouble already there. This notice is not coming because you did something wrong. It is coming because something wrong has been allowed to continue. There are details you do not yet see. There are protections already placed around you that you are unaware of. Conversations have happened in places you cannot hear. Decisions have shifted quietly. What felt like silence was not absence. It was preparation. I need you to understand this clearly. You are not being exposed. You are being defended. The truth that comes with this notice may feel uncomfortable at first, because truth always feels sharp when it has been delayed. But it will not cut you. It will cut the ties that have been binding you to stress, to unfair expectations, to silent guilt that was never yours to carry. The weight you have carried has not gone unnoticed. For so long, you have stood between calm and chaos, trying to hold both in balance. You've spoken peace even when your heart was trembling, apologized simply to end tension, and accepted less than what you deserved because confrontation felt heavier than quiet suffering. Somewhere along the way, you began to mistake endurance for harmony. But the truth, gentle yet firm, is that harmony cannot exist when it costs you your wholeness. That season is ending now. What comes next will not demand the same sacrifices. Soon, something will arrive that bears official weight. A message, a notice, a turning point written in firm words. You may feel your stomach tighten when you see it. You might be tempted to interpret it as an ending, as something collapsing. Instead, pause. Breathe. Feel your shoulders soften before you respond. This is not a punishment. It is a release. When you allow yourself to read without panic, you'll sense something subtle underneath the seriousness, a quiet exhale from your own soul, as if saying, finally. That soft relief is your first sign of truth. It is how your spirit confirms that the timing is right. For months, maybe years, you sensed imbalance. You felt a weight that didn't have a clear name. You tried to make peace by carrying both your pain and the expectations of others. You rationalized, compromised, forgave without repair. But every ounce of compassion you offered without boundaries began to turn into exhaustion. The notice that appears now, the moment that feels abrupt, is actually compassion returning to you. It is life formalizing what your inner knowing already whispered: this is not sustainable, and it is time to step into fairness. The document, message, or moment in front of you does not expose you, it acknowledges you. It records what silence once buried. It places words where confusion once ruled. And it does something even more sacred. It grants you permission to stop pretending that balance can exist without truth. You are not losing stability. You are reclaiming it. If fear rises, do not fight it. Let it move through you like a passing tide. You do not need to silence fear, only refuse to worship it. Ask it softly, are you here to protect me or delay me? Most often, fear only wants reassurance that you can handle what's coming, and you can. You have already survived storms that offered no map, no guidance, no comfort. This, in comparison, will unfold with structure. Support will find you in unexpected places. Guidance will arrive from sources you once doubted. The path will not be lonely because this time, you are awakening to how many companions light the way when you stop hiding your pain. You may be surprised by your own calm. While others expect panic, you might notice stillness. That stillness is not denial, it is strength. You have matured beyond the reflex of reacting. You're learning the sacred art of responding. This calm is proof that your roots have deepened. The ground beneath you is not as fragile as it once felt. You are steadier now because you've been tempered through pressure. Your mind may still race toward reputation, what people will assume, what they might say, the narratives that twist truth for gossip's sake. But here is a tender truth: those who really know your spirit will not be fooled by appearances. They will recognize your integrity in your silence and your steadiness in your actions. The ones who rushed to judge were never your safe place anyway, their distance is protection in disguise. Your life is not meant to perform peace, it is meant to embody it. And sometimes, peace only begins when reputation is no longer your master. This moment in your journey is not a performance, and you do not owe anyone proof of your goodness. This is about protecting what remains sacred inside you. It is about drawing the line that your compassion could not draw before. In doing so, you are not creating division, you are creating space for truth to breathe. December comes like a mirror. It carries memory in its air. It whispers through long nights, stirring what we thought we had buried. Emotions resurface like old photographs, bittersweet, familiar, asking to be seen one last time. But with memory comes illumination. The light of truth rises not to punish, but to clear. Old pain cannot heal if it remains hidden in the dark. So, as December unfolds, do not resist the emotions it brings. They are not regressions. They are messengers of release. They are the way light makes peace with shadow. When that notice, the symbol of change, appears, you may first feel weary. The instinct to delay might creep in. You may think, maybe I'll deal with it another day. But the longer you wait, the heavier the energy becomes. Avoidance was survival once, but it is no longer your way forward. Presence is. The courage to open, to read, to face, this is the new rhythm of your healing. Allow yourself a deep breath before you act. When your eyes move across the words, try not to search for hidden threats. Instead, look for what is being clarified, what is being rebalanced. If confusion arises, ask for wisdom, not escape. The answers you receive now will not always sound dramatic, sometimes they arrive as quiet insight, as sudden peace, as tears that don't hurt anymore. That is understanding being born inside you. What unfolds next is not chaos, it is calibration. It may take time, and yes, patience will be your greatest ally. You will be invited to speak truth, not as defense, but as declaration. You will be called to hold boundaries that once felt impossible. But paradoxically, you will find this discipline freeing. With each moment of honesty, your world will align a little more with who you truly are. It will feel as though reality itself begins to rearrange around your authenticity. Pay attention to what starts making sense. People, patterns, and problems that once drained you will reveal their purpose. They were the teachers that helped you see where your energy leaked. Awareness will no longer feel painful, it will feel empowering. You will feel both tender and strong, both cautious and bold. That balance is your new foundation. You are not supposed to fight every battle privately. You are not supposed to hold it all inside until you break. Some battles require formality, structure, and justice. Order is not the enemy of compassion, it is its guardian. Systems exist not just to enforce rules, but to correct imbalance when kindness alone cannot. If external help becomes involved, do not feel undone by it. Sometimes, our healing needs witnesses. Sometimes, fairness needs language stronger than apology. Do not let shame walk with you into this transition. Shame lies. It tells you that you should have prevented what was never within your control. It whispers that asking for help is failure when it is actually wisdom. Courage is not only loud declarations, it is quiet endurance, honest rest, and choosing not to hide. You have displayed all of these. You have persisted when recognition was absent and validation was scarce. That perseverance mattered. Even unseen, it transformed you. I see that strength in you now, not as potential, but as presence. So when change arrives with its official tone and unfamiliar words, do not see a threat. See a turning of the tide. This is closure where confusion once reigned. It is not the end of something good, it is the ending of something that kept you small. It is a door closing behind you so that you can no longer be pulled backward by the same dynamics that once disguised themselves as stability. Walk forward steadily. You do not have to rush through this gate, you only have to keep walking. When you stumble, ask for help. The world will surprise you with how ready it is to support someone who finally speaks truth without apology. You have carried gentleness through storms that tried to harden you. Now that same gentleness will carry you into peace. Remember this above all else, nothing approaching you now is meant to harm. Every event, every shift, is a piece of divine realignment working in your favor. It may not wear the gentle face of comfort at first. But beneath the rearrangement lies restoration. The divine does not dismantle your life to destroy you, it rearranges what was built on imbalance so that truth can take root. That is what is happening now. The light is moving through your story, not as judgment, but as correction. If you find yourself fearing the unknown, imagine a forest clearing after a long winter. The trees look bare, the ground seems empty, but beneath the surface life stirs quietly. Roots reorganize, seeds prepare to sprout. This is your inner world now, resting, rerouting, preparing. What feels like loss may be the space required for new clarity to grow. In the days ahead, you might encounter moments where silence feels heavy, pressing down like an unseen weight that demands your attention. It's in these quiet interludes that life pauses, inviting you to turn inward rather than fill the void with distractions. Use that silence to listen deeper, not just to the world around you, but to the subtle whispers of your own soul. What emerges in those still moments isn't chaos or emptiness, it's clarity. Pay attention to what brings you peace, even briefly, that fleeting sense of calm when you sip your morning coffee alone, or the gentle release of tension as you walk through a familiar park. These are not random occurrences, they are signposts. your compass pointing toward what truly nourishes you. The people or spaces where you feel yourself exhale naturally, where your shoulders drop and your breath steadies without effort, are where safety lives. They are the sanctuaries amidst the storm, the places where pretense falls away and authenticity thrives. Let those become your shelter while the external world rearranges itself, shifting like tectonic plates beneath your feet. Every time you honor your intuition, that quiet inner knowing that nudges you away from harm or toward opportunity, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. It's a quiet affirmation, building layer by layer, until self-doubt recedes. That self-trust is the true foundation you have been missing, the bedrock upon which resilience is built. Without it, decisions feel shaky, relationships uncertain. With it, you stand firm, even as winds howl around you. Change tests our faith not because it is cruel, but because it asks us to believe in unseen outcomes, to step forward without a map, guided only by the light of possibility. This is where trust becomes tangible, no longer an abstract concept but a lived experience, felt in the steady beat of your heart during uncertain times. You may not see how every detail will unfold, the job offer that arrives unexpectedly, the friendship that deepens just when you need it most, or the resolution to a long-standing conflict that seemed insurmountable. But you will notice that you are guided step by step, like a traveler following faint footprints in the sand. Answers will not arrive all at once, crashing like a wave. They will unfold in alignment with your readiness, revealing themselves when your mind and heart are open enough to receive them. Each time you choose presence over panic, opting to breathe deeply instead of spiraling into worry, you quicken the pace of grace. Grace, that unearned favor, flows more freely when we release our grip on control, allowing the universe to orchestrate what we could never plan alone. It's in these choices that momentum builds, turning what felt like stagnation into subtle progress. Do not underestimate quiet miracles, those understated gifts that weave through the fabric of everyday life. Small blessings will begin appearing in ordinary places, a kind word from a stranger at the grocery store that lifts your spirits, a moment of laughter shared with a loved one that echoes long after it's gone, an unexpected offer of support from a colleague who notices your fatigue. These are the divine's way of whispering, "You are not alone," gentle reminders that the cosmos is conspiring in your favor. Recognize them, even if they seem modest, like a single flower blooming in a cracked sidewalk. They are signs of momentum, proof that energy is shifting. Encouragement will build upon itself, one small victory leading to another, until the accumulation creates a fortress of hope. Soon, what once felt fragile, a tentative step toward a new beginning, will feel sacredly protected, enveloped in a warmth that defies explanation. It's easy to overlook these nuances in a world that celebrates grand gestures, but true transformation often arrives in whispers, not thunder. The months ahead will continue the process that December begins, a gradual unfolding that mirrors the slow turn of seasons. Healing does not demand haste. It isn't a race to be won but a journey to be savored, step by deliberate step. It asks for gentleness, the kind you extend to a wounded animal or a fragile bloom, treating yourself with the same compassion you might offer a dear friend. Patience becomes your ally, teaching you that growth isn't linear but cyclical, with periods of rest as vital as action. And a willingness to see beauty even in the dismantling, watching old structures crumble not as loss, but as liberation. You will learn that peace does not mean constant ease, a perpetual state of bliss untouched by challenge. it means alignment with truth, a harmony between your actions and your deepest values. It means waking up and not having to act against your own knowing anymore, no longer contorting yourself to fit expectations that never served you. That is the peace approaching you, steady and sure, like dawn breaking after a long night. It arrives not with fanfare, but with a quiet sigh of recognition, a sense that you've come home to yourself. You will learn to speak differently too, your words carrying the weight of intention rather than obligation. Your no will become sacred, a declaration of self-respect that protects your energy and honors your limits. No longer will it feel like a rejection, instead, it's an affirmation of what truly matters. Your yes, intentional and deliberate, will be reserved for paths that resonate with your soul, commitments that uplift rather than drain. Your boundaries will no longer feel like barriers, cold walls erected in defense. They will feel like blessings, sacred perimeters that allow genuine connection to flourish within. You will draw people into your life who respect your new clarity because your energy will no longer tolerate pretense, the superficial masks that once clouded relationships. Where once you settled for peacekeeping, smoothing over conflicts at the cost of your own voice, you will now cultivate real peace, a deep, authentic harmony built on mutual understanding and respect. This shift isn't abrupt, it's evolutionary, each conversation a brick in the wall of your renewed self. And perhaps most beautifully, your compassion will deepen, not in naive forgiveness that overlooks harm, but in mature understanding that sees the humanity in others without sacrificing your own. You will know how to love without losing yourself, offering your heart openly yet wisely, discerning when to give and when to hold back. You will serve without depletion, contributing to the world from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, ensuring your well never runs dry. You will give without becoming invisible, your generosity a reflection of your strength, not a diminishment of it. These are not small transformations. They are the quiet revolutions of a soul reclaiming itself, revolutions that ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never fully know. It's in this reclamation that you find freedom, the liberty to be wholly yourself without apology or explanation. So as you move through the remainder of this season, hold this truth close: nothing has gone wrong. The challenges you've faced, the detours and delays, are not punishments but precise calibrations, aligning you with a greater purpose. The timing is precise, even if inconvenient, arriving exactly when you're ready to receive its lessons. What feels like unraveling, the threads of old habits, relationships, or beliefs coming loose, is actual rearranging, a cosmic reorganization designed for your highest good. You are stepping into a chapter where the universe insists on reciprocity, where giving and receiving flow in balance, no longer a one-sided exchange. You will no longer be required to shrink for others' comfort, dimming your light to make room for theirs. Instead, you will expand, inviting connections that celebrate your fullness. You will be met where you stand, with openness and equality, and you will be seen for who you are, not the roles you've played, but the essence beneath. And when doubt whispers late at night, creeping in like shadows under the door, when you question whether you are strong enough to finish what has begun, remember who walks beside you. It's not just your own resolve, though that's formidable. It's the unseen presence that has carried you this far, a guiding force that's as constant as the stars. It has not disappeared, even in moments of isolation. It remains, quiet, watchful, endlessly patient, weaving support into the tapestry of your days. You are not forgotten amid the vastness of existence. you are cherished, held in a web of care that spans beyond the visible. You are being guided toward balance, that equilibrium where effort meets ease, and every step forward, no matter how uncertain or faltering, is movement toward wholeness. Wholeness isn't perfection, it's integration, the harmonious blending of all your parts, light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, into a cohesive self. December will pass, like all months before it, but the freedom born in this time will not fade into memory. It will anchor itself in your decisions, grounding you in choices that reflect your true desires rather than external pressures. It will echo in your speech, words spoken with conviction and kindness, free from the weight of unsaid truths. It will manifest in your rest, allowing you to recharge without guilt, recognizing downtime as essential fuel for your journey. You will begin to notice how good honesty feels in your body, how alignment feels like relief instead of fear, a loosening of knots you've carried for years. You will look back and realize that what once frightened you was not the ending of your peace, but the beginning of it, the dawn of a new era where authenticity reigns. Trust that what unfolds next is writing a story of restoration, a narrative where broken pieces are mended not with force, but with grace. You do not need to control every detail, micromanaging the plot like an anxious author. You only need to stay awake to your own truth, attuned to the inner voice that knows your path. Compassion will meet you there, wrapping around you like a warm embrace, softening the edges of hardship. Grace will expand around you, creating space for miracles both big and small. And when the light fully breaks, piercing through the remnants of doubt, you will recognize it for what it is. Not the destruction of what you were, but the unveiling of who you have always been, a being of immense potential, resilient and radiant. To delve deeper into this journey, consider the ways in which silence has already served you in the past. Perhaps there was a time when a quiet evening alone led to a profound realization, or a moment of stillness amid chaos revealed a hidden strength. These instances are not anomalies, they are previews of the power that lies in pausing. As you cultivate this practice, you'll find that peace isn't something to chase, it's something to allow, emerging naturally when you create space for it. The compass of your intuition sharpens with use, becoming more reliable as you heed its guidance in small matters, building confidence for larger ones. Reflect on change as a teacher, one that arrives uninvited but always with purpose. Faith, tested in the fires of uncertainty, emerges stronger, forged into a tool for navigating life's complexities. Unseen outcomes aren't blind leaps, they're invitations to co-create with the universe, trusting that your intentions align with a greater plan. Step by step, guidance appears, a synchronicity here, an insight there, affirming your direction. Quiet miracles abound if we attune our senses to them. A kind word can shift a day's trajectory, laughter can heal unseen wounds, support can reignite hope. These are the threads of divine communication, weaving a safety net beneath you. As you acknowledge them, gratitude amplifies their frequency, turning ordinary days into tapestries of wonder. The healing arc of the coming months is a gentle spiral, ascending through layers of release and renewal. Gentleness toward yourself fosters resilience, patience allows integration. Seeing beauty in dismantling reveals the artistry of transformation. Peace as alignment brings liberation, freeing you from self-betrayal. Your evolving voice becomes an instrument of empowerment. Sacred no's preserve your essence, intentional yes amplify joy. Boundaries, once burdensome, become gateways to deeper bonds. Real peace supplants superficial harmony, attracting souls that mirror your authenticity. Compassion's maturity brings wisdom. Love without self-loss, service without exhaustion, giving without erasure. These shifts are revolutionary, reshaping your inner world and radiating outward. Embrace the truth that all is as it should be. Precise timing orchestrates growth, unraveling paves way for reconstruction. Reciprocity ensures equitable exchanges, no more shrinking, you bloom fully, seen and valued. In doubt's grip, recall your unseen ally, patient and present. Guidance leads to balance. Steps, however tentative, forge wholeness. December's legacy endures in anchored freedom, decisions rooted in truth, speech laced with honesty, rest as sacred ritual. Honesty's relief replaces fear's burden, retrospect reveals fear's illusion as peace's prelude. The restoration story writes itself through surrender. Awake to truth, compassion envelopes, grace abounds. Light's breakthrough unveils your eternal self, timeless and true. Expanding further, imagine silence as a canvas, blank and inviting, where your deepest truths paint themselves vividly. In its heaviness, there's potential, a fertile ground for introspection. Listening deeper uncovers layers, the rhythm of your breath, the subtle cues of emotion, the whispers of dreams long deferred. Peace bringers, those brief respites, are anchors in turbulence, reminding you of inherent calm. Natural exhalations in certain presences signal safety, havens where vulnerability is welcomed. Honoring intuition validates your inner wisdom, fostering unbreakable self-trust.